My name is Jamie Dunlap, and I am with Pennsylvania Creative Industries, powered by Pennsylvania Council on the Arts. For those of you that don't know us on today's meeting, we are a state agency. We're based in Harrisburg, but we serve the entire Commonwealth. And we do a lot of that through grants, different grant programs that we offer, as well as resources, technical assistance, offering things like we're doing today with this webinar, just to give people information on opportunities that are out there for Pennsylvania's creative sector. Today you are all joining us for a webinar on registered apprenticeships for Pennsylvania's creative sector. And I am joined today by my colleagues Alex Martre from Big Picture Alliance, as well as Marshall Palmer with Department of Labor and Industry for Pennsylvania in the Apprenticeship Training Office. And I'm very excited about hosting today's webinar on the registered apprenticeships. For a couple of reasons. One, it is a key area of focus for our state agency. We see it as a great opportunity to be in this space to help build our Commonwealth's creative workforce. And personally, I am just really thrilled that we are here today having this conversation because I have been working with Marshall and folks at the Department of Labor and Industry, as well as Alex and the Big Picture Alliance and others across the state to really figure out how we can develop this creative sector strategy in partnership with labor and industry, and seeing how the work that we do in the creative industries may fit into the apprenticeship or even possibly pre-apprenticeship space. And I will just have to say it's been a journey. I think we've all been working together, Marshall, and the folks that we've been talking to across Pennsylvania for probably a year and a half to 2 years, really just understanding each other, getting to know the process to become a registered apprenticeship. I was able to follow along on this journey that you're going to get to hear about today. And it was just really informative, got to meet a lot of great people at Labor and Industry, and just excited to share this information with all of you today. So you're going to hear about this pathway to state registered apprenticeships. But, I want to put a side note there that we realize that apprenticeships or pre-apprenticeships, that's one pathway to the creative industries careers. We see a lot of amazing work happening across the Commonwealth in areas like training programs, student workshops or programs, pre-apprenticeships, which I said you may hear a little bit more about later today, career tech education or CTE programs that are in school districts. They are starting to work more in this space of arts, entertainment, and design. Colleges, universities. I'm sure I'm missing things, but the point here is that there's a lot of wonderful work happening in workforce development initiatives, career education, and awareness programming across the state. And we're just excited to learn about it and to discover ways and talk through ways where we might be able to support or connect people to resources. And sorry, forgive me, I'm just having to close this. We were able to support the development of the registered apprenticeship you're going to hear about today with Big Picture Alliance. We were able to support this as a model program through a grant program we offer called the Creative Catalyst Grant. And in a little bit here, I'll put a link to that grant program in the chat if you would like more information on it. The other opportunity I wanted to note up front that could support the development of new workforce initiatives, maybe it's including registered apprenticeships, pre-apprenticeships, or other things, is our new Innovation and Impact Grant. And I'll also put a link in the chat to that too. If you have questions about either of these programs, feel free to check out our website, but also reach out to me if you have questions. And without further ado, I am just thrilled to have my colleagues here with me today to give you all a chance to hear about the amazing work that Big Picture Alliance has been doing, and with the guidance from Marshall and the team at the Apprenticeship Training Office. And with that, I'm going to pass the virtual mic to you, Alex. And thank you, everyone, for being here.
Great. Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. I'm going to try and screen share. Let me know if everybody can see this. We're good to go, Jamie?
Yep, that looks great.
Okay, great. So yeah, thanks, Jamie, for the opportunity. I'm thrilled to share our journey towards apprenticeship with you all. I really see apprenticeship as a movement. So I'm so glad to see so many of you here. I know this is probably maybe the beginning of the journey for a lot of people. I know it's very daunting. There's a lot to consider. So hopefully this can be sort of a resource to you all. So I'm going to give a little bit of intro about who we are, speak about our journey, and then a little bit about where we're headed. And I think we'll have plenty of time for Q&A because I know there's probably a lot of questions and things like that. But yeah, to just get started, my name is Alex Martre. I'm the executive director of Big Picture Alliance. We are a nonprofit that empowers underserved youth to define their own narrative through filmmaking and media across Philadelphia. So our pathway of after-school summer and workforce programs annually mentor 300 young people ages 12 to 24, from script to screen and from curiosity to careers. We train and place young adults at media companies across the region, including our own Big Picture Productions production company, which really specializes in social impact storytelling while employing the next generation of media professionals. We've been around since 1996, and we've served over 10,000 youth and produced over 1,000 films. And for us, filmmaking is really kind of the ultimate project-based learning. Within filmmaking, young people learn digital media literacy, self-expression, social emotional empowerment, professional development, and civic engagement, creating films from script to screen, and premiering them at community events. We have a film festival that we do every year. So it's really all of these things and more. In 2023, we founded Ground Floor Studios, which is a production studio, a media lab and screening space in Center City. So it really is this sort of accessible creative hub, giving access to young people from all over the city, really like a seat at the table with civic leaders, industry professionals, and cultural institutions. So what motivates our work is this fact that Philly youth and community members are often the subject of media, but really rarely the storytellers. And that's due to these systemic barriers that I think we're probably all very familiar with regarding poverty, disconnection from school employment. BIPOC youth receive 25% fewer arts credits. And a lot of this translates to the industry where you see less than 15% of directors and screenwriters being people of color. And that really echoes through the broader industry, creative sector and film and media industry. But we're also really motivated by the opportunities that we see in the creative sector, both in Philly and across the region. So we're really focused on partnering with value-aligned industry partners to prepare young creatives for media career paths and breaking down barriers of entry into the growing sector. So, it is a growing sector, and there's a lot of initiatives recently that have happened to accelerate that growth, and we're trying to really, capitalize on that opportunity that we see. So my background is actually as a fine artist, musician, and filmmaker. I'm the son of a West Point Army colonel, so I like to call myself a first generation creative, which most of our amazing staff are as well as the youth that we serve. I served as a teaching artist and program manager with BPA for 5 years before taking over as executive director in 2017. And so I worked with hundreds of young people through our teen programs who really had a passion to pursue a creative career, but for whom, like a scholarship wasn't enough. And words of encouragement just weren't enough. So, it was really this experience that led me and us as an organization to think deeply about creative sector workforce development beyond just our after school and summer programs. And I feel like that lesson is really embodied in this quote that I wanted to share with everybody, from Sam Austin, who is a student and alumni of Big Picture Alliance. As a young creative, I grew up being told by some, you need to get a real job to pay the bills. By others, you can do anything if you just put your mind to it. Both were equally unhelpful, and for someone like me with limited access to resources, equally harmful. One voice was telling me that being a creative wasn't an option, and another made me feel like I should be able to do it on my own. So that really expresses, I think, the sentiment of a lot of young creatives. I know I lived this as well as a lot of our team members. this feeling of being like stuck in between these two common refrains, either being a creative is not a real job, which we know is not true because it's a fast growing sector. Um, and the other opposite end of that spectrum is you can, do anything if you put your mind to it, which sounds really nice, but we know is really equally sort of unhelpful without providing the resources to do so. So our response has been to say, yes, this is a real job. You can look at any credit roll of a film to see all the jobs that exist. And yes, you can do it as long as you have these four basic things that really empower young creatives, from curiosity to careers, which is access to tools, professional mentorship, creative community, and work experience. So that really became the basis of our workforce program model, this sort of hands-on, project-based, industry-aligned, knowing that the beauty of our industry is really your portfolio is your passport. The work that you do is what defines you more than any kind of degree or certification. So, we're providing these opportunities that I think a lot of us wish we had when we were coming up without the debt of college, getting paid to learn, cultivating the natural creativity of this really tech-savvy generation, and challenging their, digital storytelling impulses into career potential. And so for us, this is what apprenticeship is really all about. So, we've grown our pathway through workforce. For our 30 years, we've had our film and media literacy programs, after school summer programs, our youth media collective, filmmaking fellowships. But we extended, over the past 5-6 years, we've extended into our Media Futures Workforce program and our Big Picture Productions company, our social employment enterprise. So really serving ages 14 all the way through 24. And so in 2021, we designed and piloted our Media Futures Workforce program with the support of Sony Create Action Grant and People's Media Fund. And it's a paid workforce program, providing 18 to 24-year-olds with the technical skills, mentorship, community, and work experience to really pursue these pathways. We're training and placing youth in jobs with media companies across the region, including our own Big Picture Productions. And the program includes script-to-screen training, professional development, portfolio development. They create community documentaries that premiere at our film festival every year. And then during this time, we also developed our employment social enterprise, Big Picture Productions, which is to date an Emmy award-winning production company. And we really specialize in social impact storytelling with community partners and civic organizations, while employing the next generation of diverse talent from across the region. And so we see this production company as an incubator, where we can train and mentor participants and alumni while employing them to produce community-based projects through both earned revenue and grant-funded initiatives. And so the idea is really to connect the career ambitions of young creatives with the storytelling needs of our city. And a lot of these projects have gone on to win awards. The films have addressed issues from tech justice, gender justice, gun violence, environmental justice, kind of you name it. And a lot of the films have supported community-driven campaigns and policy victories, won Emmys and different awards. So some of these you might be familiar with. I think Patrice is on Hulu now, and some of these other films are distributed and screening. So the impact of our program, over the past 6 years, we have a 92% completion rate, a 78% employment rate. The types of jobs that we're landing for young people, everything from social media to digital lab to editors, associate producers, with production companies, but also corporations and institutions, educational institutions. So I kind of wanted to, before I dig into our apprenticeship journey, I wanted to sort of level set on like what is apprenticeship. So I actually pulled this off the apprenticeship.gov website. And I'm just going to kind of read it. I'm sure everybody kind of knows this already, but just to kind of level set before I get into how we designed our apprenticeship. So apprenticeship is an industry-driven, high-quality career pathway consisting of paid work experience, classroom instruction, mentorship, and credential. It allows employers to build a future workforce while individuals earn while they learn. So it's really those four core elements that we were really interested in pursuing. So paid work experience, with the addition of classroom instruction, supporting their on-the-job training, mentorship, and then credentials. And I think for us, even just having apprenticeship and a journeyman certificate was like an opportunity for a new credential. In our industry in particular, there's not a whole lot of credentials. So what motivated us? I think in a little background in 2023, with the success that we were seeing in our program, we really wanted to explore ways to deepen our impact, improve employment outcomes, and scale our program or scale our reach. And we wanted to do this along with our industry partners and peer organizations from Philly Youth Media Collaborative, which represents about over a dozen youth media organizations like ours across Philadelphia, from film, TV, journalism, radio. And I think we recognize that to scale creative sector workforce development, we were stronger together than apart. So we began researching registered apprenticeships, which was definitely a journey. I will say, it was daunting at first, but we were motivated to do so. But these things really motivated us, like I said, deepening impact through intentional design, improving employment outcomes. We really wanted to create a model or a blueprint that could be replicated and scaled. We figured if we were going to do this work, why have everybody else that is doing similar work reinvent the wheel? Because it is a lot of work. Obviously there's the opportunity to open up funding opportunities available to registered programs and also programs of a certain scale. We are definitely what we call high impact, so not huge numbers, but really good outcomes essentially. And then also to expand our earn revenue, training, hiring more young people to capacitate more community projects through both works for hire and grant funded projects as well. So in 2024, I believe, Jamie, I'm not sure, we connected with Jamie at PCA at the time, who connected us with Department of Labor and Industry, the ATO. And we actually invited them, a whole cohort of folks, to visit all of our sites, to learn more about our work, to really make the case for creative sector media-based apprenticeship, and also address some of the challenges that were unique to our sector. And then in 2025, we partnered with the Department of Labor, ATO, Pennsylvania Council on the Arts at the time, Catalyst Fund, Philly Works, Philly Youth Media Collaborative, and industry partners like Maestro Filmworks to pursue a sector-based strategy and develop the first state-registered multimedia producer apprenticeship in Pennsylvania, which was approved in January 2026. So it was a years-long journey. And these are the kind of the steps I wanted to lay out, from my recollection, the main phases of that 12-month period. We formed our team of collaborators and really clarified roles. BPA took on the responsibility of the sponsor overseeing the program and the first employer. We had brought Maestro Filmworks on as our training provider, and had other folks playing sort of a collaborator consultation role. We identified and selected a nationally recognized occupation, which was multimedia producer. So we were refining that, not necessarily creating it from scratch. The bulk of the work, is really developing the packet of the on-the-job training and the related technical instruction and compliance. So I think we met with Marshall probably every other week or so for this maybe 8 to 10-month period. Presenting to council, returning to address all the feedback they gave us. I think we actually only went twice and then got approved. And opening up the applications. I will say all along, behind the scenes, like developing the funding and the budget and the partnerships and staffing. So that's the part that is sort of like building the plane while you're flying it, which was definitely a lot of work, but totally worth it. So yeah, I wanted to touch on just like some challenges and solutions that we came across, some of which might be, our sector, and some of which might be more universal. And I really saw the challenges and solutions being sort of how do we balance the youth-centered and industry-aligned aspects of what we were trying to do. So with employment partners, I think, these challenges were, building partnerships. So having marketing materials, networking, having these low-level engagements of having these potential partners show up to some of our workshops and events in our film festival to get to know them and vet them, really clarifying the ROI, thinking outside the box about what different types of companies exist that do or have digital departments, ensuring capacity and value alignment. So making sure these companies, vetting the companies, having an orientation, having clear agreements, minimizing the administrative burden. I think that's a big one. Not all most film and media production companies don't have a lot of capacity in that. So as the sponsor, sort of leading the kind of case management, coordination, reporting, and potentially even the payroll of apprentices, considering financial incentives. So, grant subsidized wages, project opportunities, the public visibility of it all, promoting it. Uh, Accountability, I think like the skills alignment, having signed agreements and performance reviews was really important for us as well. And then on the apprenticeship side, is it ensuring fit and commitment? So having a really kind of rigorous application interview orientation process, having those signed agreements. Um, Especially for us serving, underserved youth and young adults, I think considering the socioeconomic barriers was really important. So, we put together resource kits, formed referral partnerships, created PD seminars, travel stipends, things like that just mitigate those barriers and allow apprentices to really focus. I know for our sector, forming a creative community is really, really important. So we decided for our related technical instruction to be in person and cohort based as opposed to virtual. There are benefits to having it sort of independent learning, but I think we felt that was really important for us. Providing professional development, so we have monthly PD workshops and seminars and open labs, and then providing the kind of career and alumni support. So we have these quarterly check-ins, resume and portfolio reviews, referrals, and we also provide access to equipment and fiscal sponsorship for our alumni as well. So in 2026, this year, just in June, we launched our multimedia producer apprenticeship. The program trains and employs participants as multimedia producers, versatile storytellers responsible for overseeing the creation of media from concept to delivery, including development, project management, audio, video production, post-production, marketing, distribution, really from script to delivery. And so they emerge skilled in the creative, technical, and also business aspects of multimedia production, and they're placed at jobs with employment partners across the region. So we work with media companies, marketing departments, creative agencies, and broadcast outlets as well. Our apprenticeships run from June through May, so it's a year long, full-time. And again, like apprenticeships are full-time employment, full-time jobs. It's 2,000 hours of on-the-job training on site, and then 154 hours of related technical instruction. We thought it was really important for us that the on-the-job training, like what they were doing at their jobs, mirrored the RTI, mirrored the related technical instruction. So they're getting the additional supplemental education and training that's going to support them on their jobs. So it's broken down across development, pre-production, production, post-production, marketing and distribution. And you can see that the related technical instruction kind of mirrors that, adding additional things like safety. So they get OSHA certified for workplace safety. And we actually decided to do our related technical instruction once a month. So it's these kind of 2-day master classes where the cohort comes together. There's a lot of hands-on training, whether it be in the studio or in the field. And that was really important for us. I know a lot of other apprenticeships that sort of break it up into smaller bites, like, hours and half hours across the weeks. But this is the way we decided to do it, and it's been going well. So, yeah, and then a little bit about, our holistic approach. I think this is really, really key that we see our apprentices and all our participants as full human beings. That if you don't have your basic needs met, you can't really learn these skills. So we're making sure that we're providing the wraparound supports, also teaching these transferable life skills that work for any career path, communication, critical thinking, growth mindset, all those things, as well as the industry skills from script to screen. So we're really providing access to all of these skills, so that our apprentices can thrive. And we have a lot of really great partners that we work with to provide this. So those referrals include mental health, financial literacy, housing, legal assistance, college support, applications and scholarships, travel stipends, SEPTA, and gas compensation for travel. Our sites have expanded a lot, so they're further across the city and outside of the city. And then career guidance, things like I mentioned before. So open labs, quarterly check-ins, resume portfolio, job referrals, and access to equipment. And so the way we're seeing our vision and our growth is, we really want to invest in the future where Philly's media sector is thriving. Our young people are becoming the next generation of storytellers and media professionals, creative entrepreneurs, to define their own narrative, but also to help redefine, Philadelphia's narrative as well. So over the next 3 years, our goal is to work with over a dozen industry and community partners to develop and register and launch new multimedia pre-apprenticeship programs, which is in the works, which will prepare underserved youth for these multimedia apprenticeships. So this is going to allow us to train more young people, scale the apprenticeship program, and hopefully leverage more employment partnerships. So this year, we're in the process of developing and registering and launching. By next year, we hope to have 6 pre-apprentices and 6 apprentices across an equal number of companies. And then by 2028, we hope to double that. So this is a little bit about kind of the vision in the pipeline. So in year 1, pre-apprentices complete 250 hours of script to screen training, professional development, industry certifications, and a portfolio. And then in year 2, they're placed at paid apprenticeships with local companies, gaining the on-the-job training, the RTI, and the mentorship for 12 months. And that graduates are being placed at jobs across the region. And these are some of the great companies that we work with. So this is our plan for pre-apprenticeship. We're in the process of putting that together. Like I said, to 250 hours. Fall is treatment development, production and editing. Winter is very professional development focused. They do an industry certification around Adobe Premiere, and actually prepare the applications and interviews for apprenticeships. And then they complete a capstone community documentary in the spring that we premiere at our film festival, which sort of becomes the graduation into their apprenticeships as well. And so our goal is by 2029 that the programs will be training and employing 36 underserved young adults, providing talent to over a dozen companies, and producing 36 community media projects, reaching an audience of over 1 million people. And so we're aiming for 92% completion. I'm hoping that these companies are seeing an increase in their capacity and productivity, and that community partners are increasing their visibility, and that the work is really getting out there and getting seen far and wide. And so this is just a little bit about our timeline for anybody that's interested in applying or partnering or just inquiring further. We develop our employment partnerships over the fall, essentially, and into the winter. We conduct site visits, and then in March, our apprenticeship applications open. Notifications are in April, and our orientation is in May. And then, like I said, our apprenticeships run from June throughout the year until May. And we do them in 3 terms so that there's a performance review and a pay raise per term. So my contact information is there. Our website is there to provide more information. And you can always join our email list to find out more information as these deadlines sort of come across. And then I don't know if I have time, Jamie, but I'd love to show a video. It's like a 6-minute video. How are we doing on time?
My name is Adeline Francis, and I'm a video producer apprentice at Power Home Remodeling. When I was growing up, I didn't know art could be a real job. My parents were always in survival mode. They're from Haiti. It's a beautiful country that has faced many trials and tribulations. In hopes of creating a better life for their son and future kids, they immigrated to the U.S. in 1990.
I think that definitely has a lot of influence on how we carry ourselves through our lives here.
My parents worked endlessly, making sure they were present in our lives, keeping us fed, happy, and loved. They were really strict growing up, though, enforcing the importance of education and choosing the right career path. I was always a smart kid, so I grew up thinking that I had to be a doctor or a lawyer to have any kind of stability in my life. And so I realized that doing what you love is the most stable profession. On my first day at Power, I questioned how I would fit into their environment. I learned a lot of my technical skills from Big Picture Alliance, but now I'm an apprentice, putting everything I learned into action.
BPA itself was nominated for a grant through our Nominate for Good program, and they were approved for a $20,000 grant for some new equipment, including laptops for their students. And part of that led us to the apprenticeship program. We interviewed 3 or 4 different people for the role, and we're super impressed with Adeline.
Awesome. All right, Adeline. Take care. We'll be in touch soon.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
See ya.
My apprenticeship is only 4 months, so Power makes sure that I hit the ground running. I was quickly thrown into the world of production. I had a lesson on the Komodo cameras during my second week. I was told like 100 things about the camera at one time, and I probably retained 20% of that knowledge. But it's okay, because I'm a hands-on learner.
I definitely have tried my best as an older brother to put that battery in her back, just based off of experiences that I've had being a creative myself. Adeline went to Spelman and involved herself in the documentary filmmaking program. Things didn't work out as planned because of financial issues. It was pretty soon that she started to create on her own and progress within the film industry. And I saw her doing a lot of music videos, a lot of photography for people, and that led to her being at BPA.
At the time, it felt devastating, losing my financial support for school, but BPA was a new chance to learn and get hands-on experience in this field.
So Big Picture Alliance is a Philadelphia-based nonprofit, and our mission is to empower young Philadelphians to define their own narrative through filmmaking and media. I've seen Adeline grow so much over the past couple years since she's been with Big Picture Alliance. I think we knew very early on that Adeline was going to go amazing places, and we were just, I think, thrilled to be able to provide that opportunity.
Going through the pre-production process here is not an easy process by any means. There's a lot of pitching to be done. There's a lot of sharing ideas early on and getting feedback. Adeline has always been great at taking feedback, taking things in stride.
Throughout my apprenticeship, I've been creating a video to document my journey here. Getting feedback on my work hasn't always been easy, but it's helped me grow. After countless rewrite sessions, edit sessions, and reviews for this video, I've learned to take a step back and embrace collaboration to elevate the final piece. Here I am, trying to avoid looking awkward on camera.
Sorry, I was trying to get you like just chilling.
Power has me traveling, creating, and growing in ways I would have never expected. It's all building me into the producer I want and know I can be. It's crazy to think how far I've come since that first 7 a.m. alarm. What started as uncertainty turned into purpose. I've gone from forgetting to hit record to directing full-on shoots. From my first days at BPA to now, my journey as a video producer has always been about more than just learning technical skills. It's been about growing through every rewrite, every feedback session, and every unexpected challenge. All of those moments came together to shape not just this project, but who I'm becoming as a storyteller and as a person. And that feels like the most important story of all. I'm so grateful for BPA, laying the foundation and showing me what I can accomplish, and Power, for taking a chance on my potential and letting me show what I'm capable of. Okay, enough talking. Time to finish editing this video.
Adeline has been doing her apprenticeship with us in the production team, and you've been doing such a great job. And we have loved to be getting to know you, that we don't want it to stop. We're actually going to extend your apprenticeship if you will have us, and I'd like to offer you that right now. Here is more details. I'm gonna give you a height. Thank you. Oh, there's some room to yes, it's your yes.
Really appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everybody, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks so much.